All right, folks, we're back. Thank you for watching that commercial break. We're going to be getting into Acid Plant for the first game in just a moment. Players have a bit of banter. I was going to ask if they're ready. I also just want to quickly make an addendum because I goofed up, and last time I did this, I know it was like unnecessary, but regarding the player raise, people are trying to make it like if there's a big deal. I legitimately just forgot it was a disconnection. I knew the Terran player, I knew the guy we had cast in the Tespa Cup, I knew the guy who came out for the People Images tournament. I didn't associate the name with it. And I know last time we had done this, there was a bit of drama. So just to be clear, I don't have any ill will. There's no harbored hate. It was a goof up, all right? So calm your horses. But all right, it's game number 1 in the grand finals, best of 5. $100 on the line. Thanks to Luckbox, we're able to make this awesome random tournament just kind of pop up and happen. And thank you to my co-host today, I'm Canning. Thank you for joining me, dude.
Oh yeah, great to be here. Great to be here. A lot of good games, a lot of fun times. Chat's been hype. It's been a good day.
Has chat been hype or has chat been copy pasting? There's a difference. Or is there? At any rate, folks, it's game number 1. We're hopping into it. Top left side, we've got the red Terran, souL.
In the bottom right, trying to avoid the Rifkin caster curse, it is souL. I will say, you thought that it was going to be a 2-1 Snoot, and at that moment, I knew we would see souL here in the finals, and here he is. So any predictions for the finals so I can know what the outcome's going to be today, Rifkin?
If I'm taking a stab in the dark here, like I predicted Snoot over souL and I was wrong already. I would still say souL most likely. I'm going to say 3-1 either way, though. I think both these players are going to have to take a game off the other. I just think souL might not be the one to take the series.
All right, I can get behind it.
There are other things to factor in, though, real quick, guys. Let's not forget, we are back on North America. It's the central servers, the default, because souL, Poland, Europe, Solar, Korea, there is no good middle ground. They are both equally disadvantaged by ping is the goal by putting them here because there's no perfect way to play this out from across the world. Right.
They will say, you know, it's one of those things that who knows how well souL knows souL's style. And if you don't really know a player, you know, maybe they can hit you with some tricks. And souL can surprise them. And who knows, maybe souL is just good enough to beat him straight up. It'll be fun to see. I think you talked about it earlier. We could see souL playing some mech, some bio, a bit of both. Maybe figures out what's working.
I gotta imagine we're gonna see him stick closer to bio. I just say this because it was really well executed versus Snoot, and it seemed like he's very comfortable with those timings. And that push he did in game 1 versus Snoot, I don't think it'll matter that he's playing against souL, because that's a timing. That's not a reaction to your opponent, right? Right. If we see more of that, I'll be more confident in saying that statement, of course, but we'll see what it plays out to be. Acid Plant, we also noted earlier, but I'll remind everybody who wasn't here, because we got that awesome host from both Mana and Beyond. They have tweaked the map a bit. You can't abuse Liberators as much. They took out the piping here, so there's no more awkwardness. Not that this would matter for these spawns, but the map has been somewhat fixed with an asterisk.
I wonder if we'll see like a 2-base build for. I mean, once again, my TVZ is average at best knowledge, but the thing about this map to note is the third base, whichever one you take, it's a really awkward, huge open ground in the middle here. Now you can kind of create some chokes, but I know from my own experience as a Protoss player, so a little different, but you know, a Zerg player, you can find a lot of spots with roaches and stuff to find pathways to attack and put a lot of pressure when they have a third base. So I'm expecting to see right outside the natural, this huge open area. It's going to be a spot where the Zerg is going to try to make some magic happen, in my opinion. But we'll see.
Well, but that's the interesting thing about it, especially regarding souL. Like, the bases are spread out. They're kind of a pain in the ass. There's rocks, all those other things. But once you get that creep spread going, the overlords are out. If you have map control, you have no problem having whatever bases you want on this map. But that's the problem, getting that map control in the first place. Also,
the early Viking.
Not just early Viking. We got custom shells coming out of these Marauders, which will be coming out on deck. This is a really weird thing to see this early.
Yeah. The Viking limiting the map vision, trying to hide his build maybe a little bit before oh my god, it's whatever he's got coming out.
Yeah, Marauder Hellbat is not a strategy I've seen in God knows how long, but I mean, Marauders with those slow, it'll keep them in, keep everything in range of the Hellbats. Nice pick off on the tumor, but I really like this. This could be so cool.
I was eyeing at the Viking trajectory. Okay, now he's gonna get it. He like just clipped underneath this Viking at this Overlord at the third. So there's gonna be no vision here for souL, and we see the push is happening. 2 Marauders in the medvac. Liberator follow up as well.
It's so strange seeing this timing. I don't know what, like, if this is a souL special build or if this was something he's adjusted from somebody else, but this I don't know, man. This is gonna be very interesting to see if this is effective or not. I think there's a lot of potential for it. I love the concussor shells in general, but he's brought them back home. Now the Hellions are over the attack.
Yeah, and there's only Lings here to defend the Roaches and Ravagers all the way across the map. Hellion's gonna get a ton of damage done here.
Let's not forget armor's done. He can make Hellbats if he needs to.
Wow, ton of damage going down, and he's holding the Roaches easily in the back with these Marauders. Ravagers looking for damage, not gonna find much. Hellion's getting so much damage done.
Bunker kill not canceled, just as a note. The Hellions did kind of get caught up for a little bit, but 20 workers is 20 workers. I mean, he was very much worthwhile stuck at home defending, but this has held really well. The concussor shells will keep things in range of the Cyclones. I mean, these aren't reinforcements. These are Overlords floating across the map. So souL's just out 22 workers, and he got a bunker and 4 SCVs for it.
Yeah, and during that fight, he made a ton of Roaches to help defend, so he wasn't able to make drones. And now souL's in a really awkward spot where he's got a very low drone count and, not great tech. And now we see a 3rd command center coming out from souL, who's got a better economy and a strong composition versus what souL has. And now these 3 Overlords in no man's land. But the Viking died, so that's at least good for him.
Although he's just lock on.
Yeah.
They could use their garbage anti-air ability. I hate the dynamic of it, because like a couple of Cyclones is fine. There's actually not a problem. But one Cyclone is so bad it cannot kill a majority of air units in the game. For example, guys, the Cyclone will only do 160 damage full duration. That can't kill an Overlord in one go.
But they've moved that around quite a bit. I think.
Oh, it's been all over the place. Cyclones used to be bananas good, then they became bananas garbage. Now the bananas okay.
They found a little bit of a middle ground. Yeah. I remember the first time. Wait, yeah, you go.
Oh, because Liberators are a big part of the matchup. One Cyclone cannot kill a Liberator. It was so dumb because beforehand, like now it's a 4-second cooldown. It used to be much longer, much worse to deal with.
Yeah. I remember
in my head here.
The absolute early days of the Cyclone, and it was just pure mad. They'd just be running around killing everything.
I mean, depending who you ask, they still do that.
That's true. A little bit of a follow-up attack coming in from souL, it looks like. He's got a pretty strong army versus just pure Roach Ravager here. Maybe a few Lings sprinkled in.
What's interesting for souL that I was worried about, and we're kind of seeing this, is like tech. By going for concussor shells right away, by investing in the armory and the Marauders, you're pushing off your stim timing. You're delaying your 1-1. But he got enough damage done to souL that I guess like this kind of resets the timings. So he is getting 1-1 and combat shields and stims done all at maybe a later timing that you would expect, but comparative to what souL has with 1-1 finishing up himself, this isn't too bad for souL.
Yeah. A lot of Roaches out here. Now, it'd be interesting to see if, he's got the 3rd base. It'd be interesting to see if he's going to go for something similar to last game.
So it's just the second transfuse deny on the Cyclones, killing not the Overlord of the main, not getting the Overseer, both of them one shot from dead, and the clutch transfuse saving him, but almost flies into those corrosive vials.
Yeah. Now, it'd be interesting to see if he does something he did similar to Snoot, where he scans a lot of this creep and then follows up with a big attack while the creep is down. But we just see tons of Roaches coming out here. Oh!
Wait, what just... 5 SCVs died somewhere.
There were Lings at the 3rd there was like 2 Lings, and they were just attacking, and I think the army was there, but the army wasn't low enough, so then things were dying.
Yeah, okay, because I think souL was doing what we were doing and paying attention on the other side of the field. Nice pick off on that medevac. The other Cyclone was almost dead, so even if it had unloaded, it probably would have just died anyways.
Huge counterattack. All the Roaches coming in to attack, and a bit of a concave here for souL, but there's only 1 tank, just all these Marines.
He stims in though and focuses the Ravagers. That's the core of the army. The tank now sitting back, won't have corrosive bios picking it off. He can sit comfortably at that third. There's not much left, and souL is holding despite that army disadvantage.
Yeah, he has lost 17 SCVs, so it hasn't been for nothing. Although it is still pure Roach, so if the game can go long enough, souL can make it where his composition actually gets better than
his 2-2's over halfway done, and Solar has no 2-2 to be seen. There's a big if here because it's 3-1 on the army supply scale, but if souL can hold on, he'd be in such a good spot, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Tank goes down. He's picking up the SCVs. He's trying to salvage the situation, but this base is lost.
Most of your army is medvacs. It's usually not a good spot you want to find yourself in, which is pretty tough for souL. You know, he didn't really see the Roaches coming to attack him. I think if he had his entire army there, he might have been in an okay spot, coming with 2-2, almost finishing. If he just was able to get those upgrades, hold on a little longer, it would have been really nice for him. But as it is now, the Roach numbers are just so massive. And Solar, well played.
Yo, I'm really impressed with Solar on this one. I mean, souL did great. 20 SCVs killed with those Hellions earlier were magnificent. I'm more impressed with Solar for recovering from that damage.
Yeah. GG is called, and Solar takes game 1. Yeah, well played, you know. Yeah, I'm actually very surprised because I think souL was up like 20 drones or so. If I look at the graphs, he was in a really nice spot after that Hellion aggression. Now, he did trade out his army for it. Okay, he wasn't in that crazy of a spot looking at the graphs, but it looks pretty good for souL. I mean, the build order, he had the Marauders to counter the pressure, and then the Hellions got a ton of damage. He did a nice sneak attack where the Hellions were able to find a ton of drone kills, but then, you know, it might be one of those things as well where you're like, okay, he's not going to just make Roaches. He can't just keep making Roaches. And then they keep making Roaches, and you're like, well, he actually just made only Roaches, and then I died.
What a mad lad. He just kept making Roaches.
It's like the worst thing as a StarCraft player. You're like, dude, there's no way he's going to make more Mutas. Like, he has to stop making Mutas. And then
he just beats you to death with Mutas.
Yeah, you're like, I just lost to Mutas. I'm the worst player.
All right, so it took a little bit to get map pick, but yeah, Black-Pink picked next here for souL. So hop into this. What's interesting though is through all these Zerg games we've seen actually with both Snoots and Solar now against souL, we're not seeing any Hive tech come into play. These games are all decided before Hive is even finished or even seen. I think Snoot did go for a Hive in this series, but still lost at the timing.
Yeah. Finding it, maybe this is just, you know, souL decides he either wins before Hive or loses before Hive. That's his game plan.
One or the other, apparently, but players are already ready, so let's hop into it. Black-Pink, we'll see you guys in game. Welcome back, folks. It's game number 2 in the grand finals. One more time, gotta give some love to Luckbox for making this happen. There's a giveaway going on. To enter the giveaway, it's your classic stuff, guys. Follow their Twitters, check out their website, follow our Twitter. Each gives you an entry to win. And that prize is not just a Zergling plushie, it's interchangeable. So if you would like something else, I don't know, whether it's an Amazon gift card or Crunchyroll, you name it, equivalent value exchanges are totally cool. So get in there, get into the giveaway, try and win that prize. Let's see if we can help them out on their social media just a bit, because giving us money for StarCraft, I mean, they gave us an extra $100 for each of the BTSLs we had this past month. They're giving us money so we can do casual stuff like this. It's good times, fam.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, definitely, guys, seriously, exclamation point giveaway, get in there. Yeah. It's so big for content creators, for you guys to hit up the sponsors, say, hey, even if you don't want the plushie, win it, and then send it to your friend, send it to your parents, send it to your, you know,
get M Canny to sign it at an event and increase its value tenfold.
Yes, and then next Valentine's Day, after I've signed it, you're looking at something you could put a ring in it. That's what your significant other is looking to get married. They're gonna want that plushie with my signature, and it all starts here today when you go to @giveaway, exclamation point giveaway, and get involved.
I love it. The sellout is strong in this one. Anyways, it's game number 2. Spotty here at the bottom left, we have the Red Terran souL.
In the top right, looking to... Has Solar dropped the map in the tournament? Oh, he lost a creator. Nope. I'm not sure. Looking to continue a great run. As a caster doesn't know what he's talking about, it is souL.
Best intro all time.
He has not dropped a map. So I was correct.
So far. So far,
So far.
souL actually, what's interesting about that last game, he did something very unique. I have not seen Marauder timings with those Hellbats in a long time.
We'll just see him change it up.
Well, it's cool to see him change it up, but it's also risky because you don't know whether something different works against a player who, like souL, I think it's safe to say he's known for like his standard play. souL's not a guy like Bly. He's not like Scarlet. He's not doing Ling All-Ins and Overlord Fairies. Like, he's got that ability, but he doesn't do it typically. So trying something new against him, it's a good way to test that build and see whether it can beat the standard.
Yeah.
So far, the answer is no, but this might be a small sample size.
Yeah. You know, I think as a player, if souL rewatches that replay and reanalyzes it, he'll say to himself, you know what? This build was pretty good. This worked well against a really strong player in souL. And now he didn't get the win, but the thing is, you know, especially late game, it can change so much, so many variations of builds players can do. And maybe souL just wasn't thinking he was just going to actually go Mass Roach, and he did. And, I mean, because if you think about that build order, souL was in a pretty nice place. He had his third base, killed a lot of drones, so, yeah. Putting some of his builds up against the test against some of the best players in the game, he's got to feel pretty good about it. I mean, yeah.
That's where I think this is the most justified place to do it, because I want to remind everybody the prize pool split. Well, it's $100 in total. It's $60 for first place, $40 for second. I think $20 difference, even if you accidentally quote-unquote throw the series to do it, that's the best testing you're going to get. You might not be able to get souL to casually be your practice partner, you know?
Yeah. It's true. And it's one of those things where, you know, you can cheese every game you want, but, you know, trying to test yourself in the macro stages versus great players, that's how you really learn and try to expand your ability and say, you know what, I can take this game macro. I'm not scared to go macro. And souL is a player who's really proven, you know, not just, this isn't a recent thing. This isn't a huge shock to see souL in the finals. He's been a good player for months, maybe over a year now. So it's to be expected that he can do a variety of builds and compete with the best of them.
Aren't we all just good players deep down trying to escape? No, people are bad, Rifkin. That's why Bronze League exists.
I mean, pre-Disruptor nerf, you basically saw me in Bronze.
I'm actually going to use this as a sick segue to remind people, if you are Diamond or below, or Platinum or below, we have tournaments for you this month, starting on, I believe, the 15th. There's a Team Liquid thread made for the BTSL Amateur Series. If you want to get an hour of coaching, player of your choice, whether it's from Europe or North America, we got you. First place prize is not straight cash, but we will pay for an hour of your coaching. So if you're an amateur player, there's no reason not to play. And the best part is, it happens while we're doing the cast of the same day. So you can have the cast on, you can casually play in a tournament, win or lose. We'll cast your match if you make it to the finals. Yeah. Be some good times.
Especially if you play, like, those tournaments, they're super fun, they're exhilarating, they can really fire up your passion playing a tournament like that. So definitely sign up. Play.
All right, drop goes in. Here, It's in a pretty good position backed against the wall like this, but it just doesn't have the firepower to chew through that many Zerglings. And of course, with this many Queens out, those medevacs will also go down. I do want to note, by the way, souL has gone for pretty quick Carapace this game. Not super unorthodox, but very interesting to see that they chose to go for a fast upgrade, period.
Ooh. Macro Hatch, going to be a ton of Ling Bane coming out from souL this game. And we also see just a standard build from souL, fast third, double Evo chamber. But yeah, the Macro Hatch is going to be ton. He's going to be going for huge aggression with a lot of Lings, I think.
If souL scouts this, though, this changes up a lot. Because right now, he's just on the edge of it. He's going to see this now coming in. The +1 Carapace, ideally, here keeps the Banelings alive a little bit longer, so a little bit better. But, man, so many Zerglings catch these Marines in the mineral lines. But the Marines backing up through the mineral lines, get that great spot for the attack. Metanex are going down, but he's trading up for so many of these Zerglings. souL actually not going to lose out on much. Trades out so well.
Yeah, pretty good. Honestly, fairly even, because he loses a lot of Caster Curse. There it goes.
You know what, though? It's better to trade out here than bleed out to the Banelings when all those Zerglings come for the attack on the counter. Like, this killed 51 Zerglings. That's half of those would have been Banelings. This could have been devastating to deal with at home. So taking that trade here was not worth losing the medevacs, but it was totally worth losing the Marines.
It was good up until it wasn't good, I would say. No, but seriously, it was a really good initial engagement. and it looks really just good in general. But then, you know, all the medvacs, it was pretty even, but the medvacs are your colossus of the Terran army. Losing medvacs is a pretty big deal. So I think souL probably would dismiss the medvacs.
I'm glad you said that part about being a big deal. I was trying to connect those dots. I'm like, in what bloody way is a medevac like a colossus?
Yeah,
they can both be shot by Vikings.
When I play, and you know, when you kill the medvacs and there's no more medvacs left, that's when your life goes good. You also, like, I mean, I don't know, it's so weird because like souL hasn't really ramped up here yet, and he got the macro hatch, so trading out is not that bad, but he's gonna be able to reproduce really, really well here, and it's gonna be an interesting game when we see Hydraling Bane. I feel like I'm watching a PvZ.
Also,
yeah.
Sorry, I edited this in chat for everyone's convenience here, but ! Noob will now link to the BTS amateur thread, which will be, by the way, I want to make this clear. We have a budget set to run this once a week for the rest of the year.
Wow.
So there's always going to be something for you guys to compete in.
This is your step. I don't want to see, is there any tournaments for low-level players on Reddit? This is your time to sign up.
If you guys haven't seen too, inside the thread, it's each different week will be a different league cap. So one week will be diamond and below, next week will be platinum and below, next week with gold and below. There's always a chance for you to play. And as long as people are signing up to play, we will keep these running.
Yeah, and it's really important to sign up, guys. Sign up, check in, play. It's very fun, very thrilling. You feel the pressure. If you've never felt nervous playing a game of StarCraft, you feel the exhilaration of playing a game that feels like it matters greatly. It's awesome.
I think that the double benefit to this too is like, okay, the players get rewarded, get some coaching, maybe they get better at the game, but then this also inadvertently lets us pay some players some more money. $50 for an hour coaching is pretty standard. I mean, that's some nice income right there. $50 for an hour of work, that's more than I make casting BaseTradeTV, I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, it's a good deal. Sign up, get involved.
Medevac to be chased off by the Hydras. We do have souL moving on the map. He doesn't have that many Banelings, but man, he's going to have a lot of Zerglings. You pointing out that macro hatchery. He's sitting on 73 drones. souL's in that comfy spot for all Zerg players. He maxes out.
Yeah, he's only got 5 gas geysers, and he doesn't have really anything but Ling, Bane, Hydra. Right? He's got no spy, he's got no hive, he's got no further tech. It is literally just mass Ling, Bane, Hydra. Very cool from souL. We saw last game was Mass Roach, and now he's changing up, going this style. So we're talking about souL doing, you know, mech, doing different builds, but it's really Solar who's really changing it up and doing a ton of different builds here, and we'll see if souL can handle this.
Are we watching Solar or are we watching Rogue? Because this is going to be like 50 Banelings rolling into souL's army, and Rogue's the only guy crazy enough to do this. In fact, 51 Banelings to be precise.
They come rolling in, looking for the big detonation.
Oh, but they're not split? Big hits for those tanks. He wastes a lot of the tanks. souL's splitting really well on the backside. Wow. Topside doesn't go so well, but he actually takes on 51 Banelings and lives.
Now this is the part of this build. This is a calculated attack. He takes down the 4th. souL took down the 4th. A lot of the Hydra still left. Now this is basically the game plan when you go for a macro hatch and mass sling, is you just keep throwing waves at your army. So yes, didn't look terrific for souL, and it was a good split by souL, but that's the first wave. And there are many more waves coming, and the 4th base is down. So, all in all, I would say it went a little bit better for souL, but he did lose his 4th, and with this macro hatch, just tons of units, and will he be able to outlast the waves?
I mean,
find out.
It's tough, right? Maybe that first fight was the lucky fight, but let's not forget, souL, he still has to deal with what's coming from Solar. Like, okay, you dealt with the Baneling Wave, great. You dealt with the second Baneling Wave, great. But guess what? Now Hive Tech's done. Now Vipers are involved. Now Ultralisks are in there, right? Like, this gets harder and harder for souL as time goes on. So it's imperative he's continuing to expand. His upgrades are looking good as he starts that +3. But man, I also gotta, like, as much as we want to paint this a good picture for souL, Solar really messed up there, man. He ran in with Banelings without the Zerglings in front. The Hydras were on the top side of the fight. They were split. I think if he actually does this again, and he does it properly, I don't think souL could take that on as easily.
Yeah, it's hard, right? It's why it's an RTS, real-time strategy. Who knows what's right in the moment? And there's a good setup here from souL. I mean, the thing is, we do... Yeah, what's up?
The other thing, too, we didn't factor in. Solar was fighting off a creep before. Now that souL gets closer to the middle of the map, if he fights on creep, advantage goes to the Zerg player hardcore.
And we still see Solar on 80 drones. His economy's been good for a very long time. See, now The push sniped that fourth, and we still don't see the fourth base back up. The Hydra's killed that in that last fight. And we see souL going up to Hive. We're going to have cracklings eventually. But souL set up in a nice position here. Get some good trades. And with less SCVs, his army is going to be bigger. And maybe he'll be able to make a strong push here.
I think souL pulling back from that, by the way, is the right decision. It looked like he could have collapsed on the army, but it would have cost him a lot.
Right.
While this goes on, souL's thinking about Liberators, by the way. I wish I could hype up Battle Cruisers, but we all know this is going to be Liberators in range. Good way to tackle Ultras in the late game.
Right. And he was talking about this in a little bit of banter. He's going to go Lib, Ghost, Tank. And we see the Ghost Academy coming down with the Liberators. So he is taking to late game at the right time because Ultras are on the way with the Drenal. I like the situation. We have, you know, this is StarCraft at its core, at its beauty. We see one player going for a certain style, and we see souL countering. It's beautiful.
This is going to be a real big micro battle. And normally that's like, well, duh, Rifkin, it's StarCraft 2. But I got to reiterate, this is happening on a laggy server for both, right?
Right.
Central NA versus Korea versus Europe, like, this is not going to be easy, and these players need to make little to no mistakes when it comes down to this fight. souL can't miss a blinding cloud. souL can't be late on a siege up for the Liberator. There's a lot of little what-ifs that could go horribly wrong because of how volatile a 200 versus 200 supply is going to be.
All right. Now we do see, I mean, a little bit of a drop coming in from souL, excuse me. Upgrades completing for souL. He's got Adrenal. He's got his Ultralisk upgrades on the way. It's gonna be a big fight. It's really gonna come down to souL's control because he's gonna have Liberators, he's gonna have Ghosts. We're gonna see how well he can handle this late game. Killing off some creep, which is really nice, but God, there is so much creep out there, Rifkin. I'm scared to even look at this map.
I mean, I'm just looking at the mini map, but it's more purple than not at this point. Black, pink, black, purple.
Oh my God, there is 77 larvae ready for souL on the Remax. This with the Vipers. He's gonna ram his army into souL, and then he's gonna Remax, and it's gonna be something.
The larva is beautiful, but my bigger concern is souL remaxing after maybe one fight is doable. I don't know about two. He's building 3 extra CCs now. I like this. He does need to keep expanding. That's the problem. Sitting on 4 bases, his main's mined out, his natural's mined out. He needs new bases to keep up this level of production. souL on the other hand, sitting on like 4.5k in the bank. No big deal.
So he scouted the Ultralisk, and now he is Ghost on the way. I will say, does souL have enough to handle... Okay, it's only 5 Liberators. I thought there were more Liberators out on the map. But there's not a ton of anti-air. The Liberators can get a good
I don't know that he'll need the anti-air, though.
That's true.
At this rate, if he just runs underneath it and runs through it quick enough, we're back to 51 Banelings.
Yeah. See a drop on the right-hand side. Trying to get some damage done. But souL already had units there. Beautiful defense.
I mean, what with the creep spread and the overlords, he should see every attack coming from miles away too.
Yeah. I'm actually interested to see souL not having taken all of his gases yet because he's got so many mins. I think, especially in these late game remaxes, when you don't have gas, sometimes you can lose your army and then you can't actually remax with a strong army. So
got those mins, bro.
Good cleanup here by souL. A lot of Vipers. How many Vipers are out on the map? Wait, he lost his Vipers. He's got none.
Yeah, I guess. So 2 more coming out.
I'm not, a lot, aka 2 Vipers.
Well, as someone who totally is biased against Vipers, yeah, that's a lot of Vipers. But my question for the Vipers comes down to the use, right? Like, I think they died parasitic bombing. I'm guessing because the Liberators are missing about equivalent health. If you can parasitic bomb the Liberators, you know, they can't unsiege and move. They're going to take that damage. Whereas Blinding Clouds can maybe push out the tanks, Abducts are not going to be that worthwhile, and then we got the Ghosts to factor in. There's a lot of scary what-ifs coming up for this late game.
Right. I wouldn't mind seeing a Spire come out in a Greater Spire just to have that option. Oh, does he have it?
He's got Spire, not a Greater Spire.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's actually starting weapon upgrades.
I do want to make a point. A nice snipe on the 4th here, or the eighth base of souL. But souL does pick off that hatchery. I mean, the bank's starting to come huge. Nice Liberator siege over here.
I'm just not realizing there's no Greater Spire, and that might be intentional. He might be thinking about Corruptors once he loses some of this army supply.
Yeah,
that +1 weapons will tear through this.
Yeah, these Ling upgrades are huge. Now, I do want to make a note that say this Terran army is one of the hardest things to control in the entire game. When you have the Liberators, you need to place down the Ghost, you need to snipe the Stims, the Kiting. A very hard composition to control, so we'll see how good. Now, the composition is a beautiful thing about StarCraft is it's a very hard army to control, but if controlled correctly, it can clean the floor with Zerg.
Well,
now, can you control it correctly is the hard thing.
Right, and that's where the ghosts really start mattering. Ghost control is so... You watch somebody like Beyond versus somebody on the ladder, it's so night and day different how they get used.
Right.
One thing I'm worried about for Solar, though, while they've fallen out of the matchup, there's no infestors. There's no way to disrupt those snipes. Those snipes are going to happen.
See, now there's only... Okay, the corruptors are coming out. There's only 17 Hydras. There are 9 Liberators. I really like soul's army composition here. I mean, it's a lot of Banelings, but are Banelings really that good versus soul's army? I mean, the bank is pretty big for Solar, but I like soul's spot in this game. I really do.
So, for a moment there, I thought I lost you because you went really robot-y.
Oh, really?
It's all good. It's all good now. Man, it's so many Liberators. But the Planetary gets collided into. Bantley's taking out a lot of the SCVs. Is he going to get the Planetary? It's so close. I don't think he's going to get it, though.
Wow.
The repair comes in. Sick.
Terran.
Yo, shout out to Building Armor for that one. Without Building Armor, that's a dead base.
Wow. Nice pull. I mean, honestly, losing the base, I mean, when you have this kind of command centers, it's nice to keep it, but I wouldn't even mind seeing him lose more SCVs there, because at this point it comes down to the fight. But very hard army to remax for soul compared to Solar. But the army composition strength of soul is very good. And he's been very active with these Liberators. He's done a lot of small drops and harass and annoying things on Solar in the last, 5-10 minutes. He's been really annoying.
Despite these annoyances and these worker kills, let's draw attention to the bank of Solar right now, right? Like, he can take losses.
Right. But, again, late game, a lot of it is the gas count. And their gas count is not that much different, right?
That's true.
Is a Ling Remax really going to help you here? Solar still hasn't taken that many of his gases. Now we see him pressuring. He might be finally gearing up for a fight.
Yeah, he's going to be at 60-something Bailing. 70, excuse me. That's the 7-0 digits, guys, for Bailing count.
But 4 tanks, 10 Liberators, 16 Marauders.
He's got to bloody clot the tanks. So those Bailings are all going to pop off. No,
they're coming in. Oh. And it looks like Solar is getting wiped out on the ground. A great engagement from Solar.
But this is that problem I talked about where Liberators are good, but you just roll right underneath them. And Solar, no problem making 104 Zerglings for the Remax.
I am going to throw up. 104 Lings, Adrenal Grands. I think he's on 3-3. Let me see. Yep, on 3-3 on the ground. And as we talked about, this Soul army to reproduce is a nightmare. He's actually living a nightmare now, trying to reproduce the army he had. He's gonna go to bed and dream about the army he lost, because I don't think he's gonna see it again.
Oh man, it's like
pushing across the map. And how many hatcheries is he on?
It's 5 and a hive. 5 and a hive.
Well, he's got the macro hatch.
He's got a hive 5. A hive 5. Nailed it with the pun.
We've gone too deep. Now there are a lot of ghosts.
Snipes.
A lot of snipes.
Oh, those are some good snipes.
Now he's gonna need these ghosts to turn into High Templars. Actually, he's got his supply back up a little bit. Solar down to 58 drones. His bank is gone. If Soul can hang on,
ultras. But
the ghosts are in front. And they got
rest of pepperonis, boys.
The Banes just keep on rolling through. Not a whole lot to stop them from rolling through.
It doesn't end. You've got to run out of Banelings at some points.
Not if you make 104 Lings at a time, but that base stays alive. The bank for Solar is dropping, but the Ling Bane is just cleaning up.
You know what?
A lot.
It might be dropping, but this goes back to the point you made. Look at the gas, right? Solar maintains like a close to 3K gas bank. Soul's almost out of gas.
Yeah.
What? Where did
the bank's
that SCV corpse came all the way from up there, guys? Oh man, this is a really good attack from Solar. Didn't close out the game with it just yet, but still, we're seeing command centers die. This one's floating away. The army supply's not here. I think Soul is probably destined to tap out because Solar's having no problem remaking this army.
I will say, gonna give some credit to Soul, although looks like he is gonna have a hard time coming back. I mean, he's got so many medvacs. Most of his army supply is in medvacs right now. He really made a decent amount of great moves. He had a really strong late game composition, and the fight didn't go his way. But now the Banelings are in, and the Banelings are doing Baneling things.
Solar doesn't know about this base. I was wondering why he didn't go push up while he was here. So he didn't scout the top left. Now comes back home to respond to the attack.
The creep spread just sees this coming a mile away and just gonna deflect this with no more bank from souL. I'm not sure he'll be able to stay in this game much longer. We see souL pushing in with Hydras, Corruptors, Banelings, Vipers, Ultras. What unit does he not have here?
Tigers and Bears.
I think I see a Disruptor in there as well. A little bit of everything.
I think you see what you want to see in that one.
I actually think in that one fight at the main, I meant to watch that replay. I meant to press rewind there, but I think that one fight, the big fight, the first big fight, I think souL was either doing a drop or he got attacked. But I don't think he was sieged up and the Ghosts weren't ready to fight right away. But good game from both of them. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in game 3.
Well, thank you, Robert Thari, for the 100 bitty bits came in during that game. Also, Fluffy Zealing threw in $5 to say, why did the man name his dogs Rolex and Timex? Because they were watchdogs. Riff D in the chat if you got it, guys. We're going to go to commercial break. If you guys don't know about BaseTradeTV at this point, we're very responsible with our commercials. They're only every 2 minutes, so hopefully you feel safe turning off that ad block. But on the other side of it, if you're rocking that Prime sub, just enjoy the music. We'll see you in 2 minutes, guys. Hey guys, we're back. We're just going to hop straight to the load screen because it's a Biogenesis coming up here for the map pick. And this is, again, that smaller map. We saw this earlier. It's got the funny ramps we kind of discussed.
Yeah.
Also got some crazy, noisy, good love coming in chat. If you guys are just tuning in, it is the grand finals. It's 2-0 in the favor of this guy at the top left. Playing for Splice, it is souL.
In the bottom right, choosing a Biogenesis for the second time. He chose it against Snoot and got a victory. We'll see if he has more of the same planned here, trying to get a victory, I guess. I don't know where I was going with that. Back-to-back strong intros from me. It is souL.
I like how your intros just become like a stream of consciousness. It's great. I like it.
Know, I say this. I was gonna say this going into the game, but souL has lost 2 straight games, and as a player, you start to doubt yourself sometimes, and you're like, maybe I should change it up. But I hope souL sticks to his guns and says, you know what? I could have won both those games. They didn't go my way. But a few small things, if I scouted the Master Roach, if I handled the late game a little bit better, I could have won both of those games. So I know I can still win this with my best play. So I hope to see him not go too crazy and, you know, stick to something he knows and feels comfortable with. But all that said, we're playing on a Biogenesis to throw everything I said out the window. It's going to be a crazy game.
Actually, I agree with you on the, at least as far as like scouting, maybe throw him off a bit. There's a weird build. That one I wouldn't want to see repeated, but I did love his composition. I loved his positioning. I think just macro killed him in that last one. souL is a god. But big thank yous, by the way, to Bam Be Nimble for the 2-month tier 2 sub. Thank you very much, dude. In fact, I'm going to quickly splurge a little bit on that tier 2. Thank you very much, man. Then we got 100 bits coming from Dictator and Black Spade Cam. BSK, always good to see you in chat, man. Hope you're having a good day. Says, here's some caster love. Yeah. Thank you kindly.
Don't forget to hit up that exclamation point giveaway for the sponsors providing the content you are watching here today. Shout out to Luckbox.
Are you trying to get back on this stream a second time? You keep that up and I might just have you little...
Gotta give it up to the people supporting StarCraft. I know what it's like. Here we are, though.
That daily grind, man. That daily grind.
Game 3. Looking for souL to extend this so you guys can keep listening to my lovely vocals here and Rifkin's vocals, but mostly mine. So we're rooting for souL.
So I see someone in chat upset about the pronunciation of the map name. There's been a couple instances of this. Orena,
really?
Orena was a big thing for a while. I think it's Abiogenesis and Abiogenesis.
Really?
Like, I'm not sure what the correct way to pronounce it is, but my logic is, A, if you're a map maker, maybe make the names a little more simple.
Like, I didn't even realize.
Where's Starbase 14 as a map name? That's easy. No one's gonna mess that up.
What do you call it? Did you say this is a Biogenesis? Or
I'd say it's a Biogenesis too.
Yeah,
I think Abio sounds weird. It's not natural. It doesn't flow off the tongue, even if that's the way you do pronounce it. This was there's another one. Do you remember Vani Research Station?
Yeah.
We ended up, Zombie and myself, calling it Van Eye Research Station because it sounded cooler.
Like, I would have always called that Bonnie. Also, Arena versus Orena. Is that what you were saying? I always called that Arena.
Yeah, I always call her Beta too. There's
Who are these people that are giving these names?
I think there's actually, like, this is gonna sound dumb. I think it has something to do with accents, frankly, like the way your native inflection is to pronounce certain letters after other. Anyways, please, doesn't matter. You guys know what the map is. You know what we're talking about. Even if we're saying it wrong, the point is to get the message across, right?
Yeah. Okay, I will say, going into the game, interesting stop. The Reaper got a drone, but it got surrounded, so we see the Roach one coming out.
Look at that production tab. Tell me what you see.
The Marauder build again. And we do, but I was noticing the Reaper died, so last time on this map when you played Snoot, the Reaper scouted the Roach pressure from Snoot. This time, it's not Roach pressures. souL's already on 40 drones, but a similar build where he's going Marauder, Hellions. Shouldn't there be... Well, he needed an armor if he was going to go Hellbat, right? But this is the build he did on the first map, more or less. Oh, there's the armory.
The timing's about similar for the armory, too. I would actually say it's more important that Solar scouts souL than vice versa, because even if he doesn't know about the Roaches, by having the Marauders, he's able to deal with the Roaches, you know? And the Overlord gets near to scout. It doesn't look that fishy.
Yeah, he saw. I was looking at Solar's vision there, and I don't think he saw the concussive being researched to completed, but he does see the tech lab on the barracks, and maybe he'll piece together that it's something similar to the first game. But
maybe I think this is a really strong. I really think it's a strong push. A lot of potential here. We'll see if this works. Like I said, it's tough to measure up against Solar, but concussive shells will hold everything in place. Yeah,
it looks like a really strong. Really gonna be hard. I mean, there's 3 queens here, a decent amount of roaches. Looks like Solar is preparing himself for this push, but we're gonna see it's coming in. Marauders focusing down the queens. We don't see the Cloak Banshee. We see Liberator following up. So the sniper queens will be pretty nice.
He's not focusing the medevac. He's not focusing the medevac.
And the Hellbats are getting a ton of damage done. The Marauders putting in a ton of damage behind, and a really strong push coming out here. But souL is quite committed, so he does need to find a bit more damage. But he is finding quite a bit of damage.
Snowball. And it's kind of getting to that point, but Lings are coming out. These Hellbats are almost gone, and the Lings will clean up the rest of this, no problem. This didn't get to that worker line. It killed a lot of Roaches, killed a lot of army, and that's nice. But was this worthwhile for souL? And the answer's feeling like a no.
5 armies. Now, the drone count, I mean, he's up a few drones. The third base is almost done for souL, but he's got no army. He's going to have to produce an army. He's got to go bunker. He's got to play safe. It was an okay push, but now the Liberator's coming in. Hopefully this can get some damage done, but the Spore Crawler placement is beautiful from Solar. He's seen this before, and this Liberator's going to go down instantly.
Ooh.
Ouch. Not instantly. Took 1 drone with him to the grave. That's how to do it. But now, what's the follow-up here? It's gonna be a bio play. He's going into double upgrades. I am scared that there's a huge Roach pusher as 1-1 is just starting. His bio is just amping up, and there are so many Roaches and army coming across the map. It's 61 army supply to 14, and there's a medvac out. That means there's less army supply on the field. I'm not sure souL's gonna be able to hold on to this huge push coming in from souL, and there's so many supply deals that are gonna fall.
I like the Banshee, though. The Banshee guarantees this will eventually get cleaned up. She should be able to systematically target the... Oh, Ravagers! Oh, my God. Soul Heart Attack. If he had sat that, that would have been devastating. I don't know that the bunker will buy enough time for the Banshee to do her work. Like, this will eventually get cleaned up, but at what cost? And so far, it's not looking good. The speed at which these Roaches are dying is low. SCV's pulled desperately, but it's not going to keep the bunker up.
No, and the Banshee will. He can never kill the Banshee, but the Banshee can't kill things fast enough. All the SCVs are going to pay with their life as the Banshee reigns above and watches his friends die on the ground. Solar just cleaning up souL's economy here. And we're going to have Solar taking home first place without dropping a map.
Solar, like the sun, like the day. Day man, fighter of the night man.
Although it is 6 a.m. in Korea, he has stayed up all night for this tournament. Started at 3 a.m. and now it is 6 a.m. That's passion, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't sign up for that newbie, the noob Diamond Glow tournament,
oh, that's not insult to injury. I don't know what his thing goes down to.
The Roach Ravager.
GG, well played.
Solar staying up all night and rewarded handsomely with some StarCraft cash. Beautiful.
3-0, slick, smooth, well executed. I will give credit to souL. I liked that build. I'm sad to see it didn't work. I had a lot of expectations of like, hey, Maybe I'm gonna copy try this down a little bit. My Diamond League game, see how this quite goes, but unfortunately it didn't work versus souL. But that was I like the idea. I like this macro. I want to see more souL, obviously, but good games to souL.
Yeah, I think good games to souL, of course. souL also with a great run. He will not be going home empty-handed. He's taking home some cash as well and some prestige. He's beat a lot of good players today, and he showed us some cool builds. Didn't work out in the finals, but game 1 and 2, he had a great shot to win. Game 3, souL was prepared for the attack, but yeah, he was doing some different things, and I'd like to see him, maybe expand, look at the replays, see if he can make any improvements on the builds. But honestly, looked good to me, and went souL's way, but could have went souL's way, honestly. Also, these guys' names are way too close together.
souL, yeah. All right, well, MK, thank you very much for joining me. We'll just close out here, guys. We'll say our goodbyes. We'll run some ads. Then we'll go find somebody to host. So, dude, I'll give you first shout-outs. Thank you for joining me. If people,
yes.
I mean, I think it's safe to say everybody in the known universe knows who you are. But on the off chance there's a baby being born right now, and they don't know you, where can they find out more about you? Where can they check you out?
Thanks so much, Rifkin, for having me on. It was a pleasure. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the cast. Hopefully I didn't shout too much. Got a ton of
shoutcasting, no shouting.
He had a ton of Protoss games, which was what I really wanted, because that's really where my expertise lie. But it was a lot of fun, a lot of good games, and yeah, you can find me on twitter.com/mcanningsc2. Please go follow. Just like when you hit that giveaway link here, hit that follow button on the Twitterverse. I stream basically every single night. I'm a full-time streamer now. Twitch.tv/mcanning, and yeah, I've just been giving the StarCraft the full-time go for about a month and a half now, and now I'm a caster. I'm a full-time caster after today, so I've made it, guys. I've made it. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's fun, dude. I'm glad you came out. Of course, as you guys know, the drill, follow the channel, consider subscribing, all that good stuff. Thank you for the love today. Like I said, I'm going to be splitting. You see those numbers down there right underneath MKanny's name? All them little donations, them bits. I'll be splitting them his way too. So if you guys want to make any last-second contributions, I'm just saying now's the time to do it. But the schedule still is a little bit wonky. Today was like a really fun, like a pop-up tournament. Just kind of came up, like it happened. I'm glad it happened. But we're still actually in our downtime period. Like, this was literally me taking my, you call it a vacation or whatever you want, but time off to do this with MCanning, give it a bit of a run, see how it goes. The official next time we're live, though, and maybe in the next 2 days we'll something together, right? But Monday, on the 12th, 4 a.m. Pacific, I'll be back with Maynard. We'll be kicking off the BTSL with the Korean qualifier #1. Then we get the Alima League. The BTSL Europe will be with Wardy that same week. And then last but not least, BTSL Asia Open will be with Zombie Grub. So we have 4 casts a week, every week for the next few months.
Wow.
So I know we've been on that downtime. We've been on that trend of not doing much. But we're about to kick it off in a high gear, and I hope you guys will join us for all of it. So like I said, hit the follow button to make sure you don't miss out on any of it. The events tab here on our Twitch page has been updated too, so you can see those events at a glance. You can hit that remind me option, which is always really handy, so you know when we're going live. All that good stuff. And of course, last but not least, we've brought it up a billion times. Let's do it one more time. The amateur series is going to be running out on Wednesdays.
Get involved.
It'll be happening alongside the European qualifier. So the way it'll time out, guys, is we'll be casting the European qualifier, and when that's done, we'll cast the finals live, not from replays. We'll do a live cast of the amateur finals as well. Yeah. So your prize is going to be on. You get featured on BaseTradeTV. How cool is that, right? Get your name out there.
Your chance for fame is here. Get out there, definitely. I mean, it's one of those things where, especially as a player, if you don't even play that much, it's so fun to compete and so fun to just be a part of a tournament. It can inspire so much within you when you play a tournament. Really do sign up, or these tournaments won't last. You got to sign up, show your support, and get on BaseTradeTV. Blow your name up. Bam.
So the very, very absolutely last thing before you go, guys. This is new as of today, so this is like just been set up. We created a Discord channel on the BaseTradeTV Discord. I tweeted it. I'll put the link in chat in a moment or two because of that stream delay. And it is 100% dedicated for tournament-related questions. If you are a new player who doesn't know how to reach out to the admin, you don't know how to sign up and sign in, this channel is there for you, because it's sometimes difficult to get a hold of us if we're not streaming. So This Discord channel is going to have the admin. I'll be checking it periodically. Same thing goes for pro players. If you actually don't know when the next tournament is, this is a channel dedicated to specifically the tournaments you can check in on. Obviously, it's free. You don't have to subscribe. None of that bullshit. Just click that link, join the Discord, make sure you're in the channel so you can always see when we're live, what we're live with next, what you can play in, and all this other good stuff. But guys, we got some subs coming to the very end. Thank you, Light_, for that brand new sub. You're going to get some replay packs here in about an hour or so, so thank you for that. Diet Soda, thank you for the 37-month. Tier 3, ooh. Quick dab.
Wow.
Thank you very much, Diet Soda. All your base are belong to us. You have no chance to... Oh, hang on. I know what you want me to do. All your base are belong to us. You have no chance to survive. Make your time.
Tier 3, 37 months. A hero in the scene.
Absolutely. But like I said, guys, ending the stream, we can say bye-bye. I guess the other thing too, I'll put some links in chat. I've been playing a lot of like in the downtime. I've still been streaming. You might not know this. I have my own channel other than BaseTradeTV, Riff_King on Twitch. I've been streaming a lot of VR chat. It's been pretty fun. We've had some good shenanigans. I'm going to link some clips from yesterday's stream. I think were particularly funny. Hopefully you guys will enjoy them. But check them all out in the chat. We'll see you guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.